You hear me? Hey, sounds good to me. Just let us know. Send that contract.
Oh yeah. Turki Alalshikh. After Jaron Boots Ennis, his win a round before Terence Crawford, Turki Alalshikh of Riyadh season says he wants to make a fight that I definitely want to see between the two. Newly crowned IBF champion who just did his first title defense, Jaron Boots Ennis of Philly versus dat boy Bud from Omaha, Nebraska, Terence Crawford. In a brand new tweet, Turki Alalshikh, who heads up the Riyadh season, they got an upcoming Terence Crawford versus Madrimov card. I will talk about that. Stay tuned to the end of the video. In a brand new tweet, he says, I just reached out to boxer Jaron Ennis and Eddie Hearn to congratulate him on his win, and I'd love to see Boots Ennis in a fight with Terence Crawford at the weight of 154 pounds soon. What are my thoughts? The ego thoughts: make it happen. If Terence Crawford beats Israel Madrimov on August 3rd, then that means he will be a champion. Now, he's been a champion previously at 140 pounds. At 147 pounds, he was undisputed in both of those divisions. Now, what's interesting, just ego fun facts, Terence Crawford, when he first moved up, he fought in Dongo. I was at the fight, so I watched Crawford capture that history. And then his first fight at the welterweight division, he fought a champion, WBO champion at the time, Jeff Horn. Now, I'm not going to get into too much semantics. I don't think Jeff Horn actually beat Pacquiao. Nonetheless, the judges in Australia had him beating that boy from General Santos. I believe I beat Jeffrey. He's going to bite me. So it is what it is. But for real, Jeff Horn, he was kind of a one-hit wonder, and he ain't really beat Pacquiao, but he was a champion. So Terence Crawford moved up, fought a champion in his first fight, and he's doing it again by fighting Israel Madrimov. Now, same kind of thing. Israel Madrimov, he is a champion, fought for a vacant belt. He just got the belt in March, so he is. I'm just giving you guys the facts. Don't see, y'all say I'm hating when I tell y'all the facts. That's the facts. Madrimov is a brand spanking new champion. Look at his box rec. But so it's not like he's a long-standing champion. He actually became a champion because Jermell Charlo moved up, took a money fight. I'm a prize fighter, dummy. I'll fight for a prize. Like Floyd say, he moved up and fought Canelo Alvarez. You know, if you get that Canelo call, you're probably taking it. And Jermell Charlo, his belts pretty much got dispersed after that moment because he took a money fight at 168, which he definitely lost when he was undisputed at 54. I told you guys that was kind of foolish. I rather would have seen Jermell Charlo versus Tim Tszyu and Canelo versus David Benavidez, but it is, as they say, what it is. So that's the latest. Crawford's gonna do it again, move up in weight, and fight another champion in his first fight. Salute to him for that. Now, if he gets past him, Turki Alalshikh is saying he wants to fight or match Bud Crawford, who would then be a champion, because I would imagine it's kind of like Wilder. They said Wilder could fight Jared Anderson in a back-to-back fight if he got past Zille Zhang, right? But he ended up losing and getting stopped by Zelle Zhang. So now you have him fighting Martin Bacoli, I believe it is. So same kind of thing. I would imagine if Terence Crawford is not victorious, then versus Madrimov, the Boots fight probably wouldn't happen unless he moved back down to 147 and then they made it happen there. But with Turki Alalshikh, what he's saying is he wants to see the fight at 154. To me, and I'm just being real, I've always looked at this as a great fight. I still want to see the fight. I think it's pretty close to a 50-50 pick'em fight. But what I've seen in Jaron Ennis's last fight with David Avanesian, which was a mutual opponent, Crawford fought the same guy, I don't know. I'd have to think about it, but I'm kind of leaning towards Terence Crawford. Not saying Boots, like, listen, holla at me again if they make the fight. because this is the type of fight for me where I could go back and forth and pick Crawford, then pick Boots, then pick Crawford, because you could make a sound argument for both guys to win. Like I could easily say Boots looks like he takes a better punch, but he's not been in there with top punchers, in my opinion, like the best of the welterweight punchers. But so far so good. His chin is holding up when he is taking shots. Crawford, I've seen him hurt by guys as little as Gamboa. So Boots is throwing heat. He throwing smoke. Smoking on top 5. Smoking on that gun, right? He throwing smoke. So can Crawford, if he's getting clipped with that, which Boots, his punch selection, punch variation, his speed, he's explosive, athletic. I don't know. I don't know if Crawford chin can take that. But then I can also make a strong case for Terence Crawford. He's a grown man. He got a lot of experience. And the big thing is, I truly feel after watching Boots versus Avanesian, that experience gap is even greater than I may have thought of before. Because Crawford, I mean, even his last fight with Errol Spence Jr., that was for all the marbles. He walked out with Eminem. It was a long-standing rivalry for a couple years between Errol and Terence Crawford. A lot of trash talk on both sides from the teams, in the crowd, and also Errol Spence fans versus Bud Crawford fans. And it was for Undisputed a second time. So that's a situation where Terence Crawford went in there with all the pressure of the world on him, and he delivered a one-sided beatdown. Jaron Ennis, I like what he's doing, but there's nothing that he can even compare to that one fight. And I do feel experience matters in boxing, because that a fight like that Errol Spence fight and victory, based on the parameters I just outlined, to me, that's worth like 5, 6, 7 fights of just journeymen and stuff like that, which you accomplish in one night. And boxing is like that. It's like David Benavidez. If he beats one name and Canelo Alvarez, that trumps him beating Angulo and Ron Gavril and, you know, just any obscure names like that, Vodstick and stuff like that. That one Canelo win would be more tokens than Angulo and all the other people that Benavidez has fought. And I'm not knocking him. I'm just telling you how experience works in boxing. Just having experience, it's like Canelo losing to Floyd Mayweather. It did a lot for his career because he showed he had the mentality to, you know, get back in the gym and try to learn from it and learn from the experience. And he did that. So Crawford, for sure, has a huge edge in terms of experience over Boots Ennis. And I think that was even made more apparent because, yes, Boots was coming off a long layoff, a year plus. He was fighting at home. And to me, he fought like an antsy young fighter. Not that he was doing bad, but he fought, he wasn't as composed as I would have liked to see, because I think he was fighting for the crowd. Like, it's like, oh, it's me in Philly. I done promised them a show and my people is here, and Gilly and Wallow Wright, you know, all these people in the audience. I don't want to let people down. So I think he kind of went into that. And there were moments where he was getting touched on, you know what I mean? He was getting touched on by David Avanesian, who was pretty crafty. And the thing is, David Avanesian was getting hit with some torturous shots and wasn't really going anywhere. And he didn't get knocked out flush. When Crawford knocked him out, Crawford just laced his boots and knocked him out flush. Now, this is not about triangle theories. Again, I want to see the fight, so it is what it is. But I'm telling you how the perception can shift fight by fight. It's like Gervonta Davis versus Shakur Stevenson. Me personally, I never thought Shakur would beat Gervonta Davis because I rate Gervonta. It's not that Shakur's not nice with it, but styles make fights. And I don't know if he has the firepower. And, you know, I'm not even gonna get into all the details, but I just didn't think he would beat Gervonta Davis. So after watching Shakur's last 2 fights, I feel even more confident in that. But I do know there are people who had Shakur beating Gervonta Davis. But again, after the Artem Harutyunyan fight and the fight before that with Edwin De Los Santos, it's made him reconsider. So that's all I'm saying with Boots. It's not hating on Boots. Because listen, if I say some criticism for Crawford, y'all say I hate Crawford. If I have a criticism for Boots, you say I'm hating Boots. How about I'm just the best in the business and it's not even close, and I'm objective and I'm telling you what I truly feel. I don't have a horse in the race. Make the fight. Turki said he wants to make the fight. He got the money to put it up. Bud gotta clear his man Madrimov. A lot of people are favoring him to do that. But my thing is this, I don't think it's gonna be as easy as some people think. If Bud makes it look super easy like a cinch, then he's just raw. And I know he's dope and I know he's raw, but I'm just saying, I think that's a difficult fight. So I don't want to get too caught up. I'm not going to make this video too much longer because that's a whole lot of ifs. We just seen it, like I said earlier in this video, Wilder, people were like, oh, fight Joshua, fight Jared Anderson in August. And then he ends up losing to Zelle Zhang. So we just got to see how it plays out. But I would love to see it. Boots versus Bud Crawford. At this current moment, it's liable to change. I'm thinking Crawford experience and the fact that Bud is so stealthy and he's experienced. He knows how to deliver. They're both ambidextrous. Bud he's just hard to beat. It is what it is. And Boots, I do think he was getting hit with just unnecessary shots. His dad said that, you know what I mean? So if you're getting hit like that with David Avanesian, Bud Crawford could possibly be the wrong style for you, especially with all the power, speed, athleticism, ambidextrous, just like you, and the power he possesses. He's just tricky. Bud is hard to read, and he got an excellent jab. So if he gets, and here's the thing too, if he gets past Madrimov, and of course, depending on how that looks, because I rate Madrimov. Some of y'all saying it's going to be easy. If he looks like masterful, like he did with Errol Spence, if he, put it this way, if he makes it look easy, if he gets a stoppage, anything like that, then I'm definitely probably going to be favoring Bud to beat Boots, because Turki Alalshikh said he wanted to see this fight at 154. So the fact that Bud, if he gets past Madrimov, again, a champion and someone I rate, do I think should be a good fight for him on paper. If he makes it look easy or stops him or anything like that, then he'll have the advantage because he'll have one in at 154. Boots will be coming off of the David Avanesian joint. You know, we got to see what Crawford has to say. I know money talks. Crawford in the past didn't really seem like he wanted to fight Boots. He was saying like, hey, what's the point? It's a lose-lose. What do I really get from the situation? So we'll see how it plays out. Like I said, I don't want to talk too much because there's a whole lot of ifs. Subscribe.